Hello, everyone. We are live. Maybe Rob is finding it hard to get. Ha 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 ha. No, actually, I really apologize for being a few minutes late. Of course, at 10:04, Bill from Compass Games calls, and we were just talking for a little bit and getting a few things squared away. What a great guy he is. What an interesting guy. I really, really like that guy. Nathaniel, it's good to see you, of course. Monster X, it's good to see you. Maybe finding it hard. Now the poor guy's gone. Come on, Nathaniel. Really? Always so angry. Always so angry. Neutral, good to see you. Alan, Zeblik. We'll give everybody a little chance to pop in. Oh, now the show can start because he's here. Herman Luttman himself. The Herman Luttman. Let me tell you what interesting week it's been for sure. For sure. Last week we had David Thompson on, which was a real thrill to have on. Pete, how are you? Tom, how are you? We got a lot to talk about. Everybody's saying hi to each other. That's right. I got the thing now. I actually got my little thing on here so we could do a few things. So we're gonna be talking about a whole bunch of stuff today. Andy, how are you? He says good afternoon, and he's got the Texas. Is that the Houston Texans on there? Coming into Seahawkville here? That's all right. We're all friends. There's no sports, so we're not worried about it. We got Arnold over in Twitch. Arnold, thank you. Thank you for popping in. Everybody's saying hi to it. Charles, how are you? Good to see you. Everybody's saying hi. Yeah, real sorry about being a few minutes late. The reason we are actually going an hour earlier, just to let you know, next week we'll be back at our regular time of 5 o'clock. But the queen of all reality suckered me into I've got to go somewhere with her. And when the queen says, hey, you're going, guess what? The show gets moved. I was like, no, that's not how it works here. Okay, that's not how it works here. I go, I have a show. I have people that are depending on the show being on time. And well, yeah, you can assume who won that one. There you go. Omnicron himself, Matt, good to see you. Glad to have you here. All right, hey, without further ado, let's get going. A lot of great releases this week that I happened to get. She Who Must Be Obeyed. Yeah, they should make a game of that. Okay, they should make a game of that and have me like in uniform with tears. She Who Must Be Obeyed. You know, and basically, you know, she's like a 10-10 chit and I'm like a 1-3. You know, I'm done. You know, roll the die on the chart 10 times over. That is a critical hit. There you go. Early is good for me. It's 11 o'clock in my part of the world. All right. Well, see, we made one person happy. There you go. And I think that's the most important thing. Cracking the whip. Thanks for the awesome Warcry episode yesterday. Well, you're very welcome. Matter of fact, I got a lot more things we're going to be doing. Just off topic a little bit. We're going to be doing a lot of different things that I think you're really, really going to enjoy. Definitely. She the one who must be obeyed. Definitely a dungeon crawl game. Yeah, I'm crawling right out of that dungeon. That's for doggone sure. But we're going to be doing some Aeronautica. We've got Adeptus Titanicus that I've been working on. You know, it's just I can't put it out there unless it's painted. That's just the way it goes. Which do you prefer, Warcry or Hordes? Warcry. Warcry is a superior game, and you guys are going to see it. It's actually this Monday. Rough Swordsman, you glorious son of a gun, you. Glad to see you, my friend. We had to move that to Monday, and I moved something else, Dungeon Universalis, to Sunday. because my son couldn't make it. He's doing a 24-hour stream on Saturday, so he would be totally out of it on Sunday. So we're going to do it Monday afternoon where everybody can see. Speaking of GMT, Nevsky was finally delivered today. That's great. Via trade. I'm glad to hear that, Pete. Glad to hear that. But hey, let's talk a little bit about GMT. And I'm on the review list, which I'm always very excited to be a part of. And I got some great stuff in this week, but I got a couple other things I wanted to show you guys. Let's see. I'm just making sure that I'm not missing anything. Everybody's saying hi to Herman. I mean, who doesn't say hi to Herman? I mean, really? 3D printing inserts. It's funny you should talk about, printing, print and plays, more or less. I got something in, which I thought was very, very fascinating. And that is this game called Red Menace. Okay. And I wanted to talk a little bit about this in today's show. It's made by, I got this in from Battle Space Games, and I'm going to be doing a playthrough of this at some point. This is an interesting little game. It's where, you know what? I'm just going to kind of show you a little bit. Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Right? I mean, that's what the show's for. Let's see. All right, there we go. I'm going to get my keyboard out of the way so we can actually. I want to show you this map because it's really, really a fascinating little thing that we have here. And now that we have everything, see that? Look at that, folks. There's no lines around here anymore, right? All right. But I've played it through a couple of times, and actually, as you can see, I did a nice little job here by putting all these, separating all the components. They're laser cut, so you're going to get some of that laser dust on it, which is fine. Does anybody else like the smell of that? I mean, it smells like charred wood. It's actually very cool. Very, very interesting how this works, and I just want to talk a little bit about it. This is a wargaming channel. I'm going to put my hat backwards so it stops getting in the middle here. Everything just, you're having the Russian bombers come here, and you cannot engage them until you detect them over at this line here, which is really interesting. And the whole point is that you're going to bomb, you're going to nuke certain towns. So I don't know why they have Seattle. Why would you want to nuke Seattle? That's where the Seahawks are. You may want to go down here where the Houston Texans are. Okay. But you come down here and you're going to be trying to nuke things, but you have interceptors and stuff. And then you're coming back and doing the same thing. In one of the missions, it's the first person to 50 victory points. Now, every time you draw or you bomb something, you're going to reach in and randomly, and I'm going to do it randomly, pull out a nuclear that you nuke that town, and you got 5 victory points for nuking Omaha. Boom. So the thing fills up. You've got subs, you've got all these kind of things. And it's really an interesting little game that I really think that we're going to have a good time with. There's events that are going to happen. You're going to be drawing all types of events, which is really cool. And I just think this is just a superb game. Now that we talked about that game, we're going to get to the GMT stuff. But I did want to address some things. Oh, on the other side, if you have that old nostalgia, you could play it in black and white. I mean, really? This is Crystal Palace. We are Def Con. It had, and let me tell you something, Kabook. Let me tell you something. It does have that. It has that unique feel to it of a little bit of Doctor Strange love. Only, there's not 20 Peter Sellers running around. Just really, really, really unique. And I'm very excited to do a live play of this and really bring this out. Now, I figured somebody would ask, and I figured I was going to I figured I was going to take the first part of the show and talk about it, but nobody asked. So I just want to clear something up very quickly. It's nothing earth shattering. You guys are probably wondering why Dan isn't here. Now, Dan's a great guy. He has a very wonderful channel. But one thing about War and Pieces, and I really want to bring this up, is GMT, hurry up! I want my copy of Rebel Fury. But anyways, we'll handle all the acronyms about Doctor Strangelove, which is a great movie, and we'll talk about that a little bit in detail too. But I just wanted to let you guys know that War and Pieces have been around for almost 200 if you really think about it, shows. Okay, and that's almost like 33% of my show. But it really, not in video wise, but 33% of my show has always been about war games and my passion for war games. And we were very blessed to have Dan on the show for a while. But that's some of the things that I always wanted to do, is have a revolving door. Okay. I want to grow this hobby. There's different things I want to do, and I have different visions for things and how I want to do things. Okay. And I've always been that way. I've always been outside the box. I always think outside the box. I don't want to be like everybody else. Heck, the reason we have the community that we have and everything that we do have is because we do things outside the box. And over the last month or so, I've been working on different things and stuff like that. And one of the things I want is to bring more talent in to co-host. Okay. And help a lot of smaller channels, the way we did with Dan. Dan has a great message, and he does a great stuff on his channel and for the Dice Tower. He falls in the lineage that, me, Joe Stedman, and the mighty Chief himself. Okay, all those guys. But I'm always out to do more. Okay, I'm always out to stretch the limits. I don't want to be like everybody else. You guys know that. And I'm not telling you anything I don't want to do. But why can't a rough swordsman come on and co-host one day, and we get to know him and his channel and how he thinks? Okay? Why can't we have JK Wargaming and some of these other channels come on and host? And that is what my ultimate dream was. Dan came in and did a fantastic job, and we had him for 6 shows. And it was fun. But then, do we become, because of our interaction, which was really good, but does the show get stagnant? Yeah, it does. I constantly want you to tune in and not know what's going to happen. Okay, you never know what I'm going to cover, what I'm going to do, what I've got in my head of mine. And my thing is to make this bigger and better for everybody. For everyone, not just one person, but everyone. Everyone should have a chance. You have a chance to be on the big stage here on Board Game Geek. Okay, Board Game Geek, who is the number one, one of the number one wargaming forums. I'm talking about their webpage. The people that write on there are brilliant, smart, and do so many different things. I want all kinds of things for this channel. Okay. Next week, we are having Candace from Board Game Geek on. Okay. And I think you're going to be very interested in how we met. We actually met at the Board Game Geek retreat, and I'm going to have her on because we have a lot to talk about, and we talked about it at a dinner, and I thought to myself she'd be perfect for War and Pieces, and finally I have the chance to have her on as a co-host. I'm really excited about this. Then in the following weeks, we're going to be doing some really innovative and different things. I'm going to drop it down to 3 live things a month, and I came up with an idea that I wanted to do review copies and give you guys the quick in and outs of things. Okay, so I'm calling it 3 for 30. So once a month, and depending on how many games I get, it might be twice a month. But I'll always do 3 live shows every on a Wednesday, And maybe because I have so many things lined up, I may not be able to do just the live. I'll have to do the live shows, and I just may have to make the 3 for 30 another segment for War and Pieces. But 3 for 30 is taking 3 games and giving you 10 minutes of overview and talking about different things. The other thing that we really, really are excited about, and happy birthday to the Rough Swordsman, okay, while I'm droning on here. My boy Mo decided to throw that one out there. So we want to make sure that we get that in there. Happy birthday. I would sing, but listen, I don't want to break the internet. I would with my horrible voice. Happy birthday, my good friend. I hope you have many, many more for sure. Now, to get back to it, behind the scenes for last month, I've been talking with a bunch of YouTube channels, and we are forming a really unique coalition, okay, that we are going to really revolutionize how you're going to see war games going forward. That, along with designers and a bunch of companies, okay, that are going to be working in partnership with us. And we've got something really special coming down the pike. And I don't want to spoil that, but I'm actually saving that for July. I actually have to push it off, even though a lot of people want to get going on this. But being smart, being innovative, and bringing you the very best that we can, I think is one of the things that I've always tried to do. And you guys know how I feel about you, that this is your show, okay? But I try to make things so all of you can get something out of it, not just the hardcore war gamer. Without that hardcore, or as they say, the old guy war gamer. Well, without that guy who is the very foundation of wargaming, we don't have wargaming. Okay, but what do you put on the foundation? That's what really counts. Just when it comes down to an old saying, and I think we have to look at it this way. When you think you know a lot, you then realize how little you know. And that's a very true statement here. People have so many different perspectives of wargaming that I want to bring that to you on this channel. I want to do things that are innovative, things that stand out, things that are just not the same old, okay? There's a lot of these games that are in shrink wrap, but I do play a lot of these games. I play a lot of these games, and I want to express that feeling. Somebody sends me something, I make sure it gets down to that table right away, and that person that took the time to think that my opinion matters, or that I would like this, okay, and be able to share it with all of you here on Rob's Tabletop World, and both on YouTube and Twitter. Okay, hit that like button. Okay, and also we're very fortunate. We have a fantastic relationship with everybody over at BGG. Okay, and Chaz and Rodney, every once in a while I'll do an interview and they'll stick their heads in, and then they'll say, hey, you're doing a really good job. And I appreciate that. That's the kind of relationship that we have. It's a fantastic relationship. And with this coalition that has been built with a number of sites, okay, I want to showcase smaller sites that you guys may know about. I had a chance to talk, oh God, I'm going to butcher his name. Is it Fabrizzi? A gentleman over in Europe, and Mo's going to help me out at any second because he's going to tell me the name of the game. Oh God, he has a fantastic company over there, and we had a chance to talk for a while and about the things that he wants to do, and I talked about the things that I wanted to do, and it seems we have similar things. Show off all these fantastic companies. Make them shine. Bring you guys more. Just when I think I know everything, there's more out there that I don't know, and I want to share it with you. Under an Iron Sky and Deadly Northern Lights. Thank you. Those two, Fabrizio. What a fantastic guy. What a wonderful, wonderful guy. We had a chance. Thin Red Line Gapes. Thank you, Mo. Thank you for bailing me out like you always do. And it just was fantastic. And they also have a game called Less Than 60 Miles. I told the guy, you got an open credit card. When you get everything reprinted, yeah, send it over. What an awesome guy. And it was just so nice of Kevin Sharp to put us both together. I really appreciate that. All right, let's get down to things. But I just wanted to let you know where we're going and all the fun that we're going to have. We're going to have all kinds of different co-hosts. And Rough Swordsman, let me tell you something. All you got to do is just put a camera on yourself, and I'd love to have you on. Love to have you on. Mo, at some point, I'd love to have you on. I love to have Mo with the no. See, that's why we got to have him come in first show. So the show sounds smart every once in a while. Listen, there's a lot of guys out there that have smaller channels that do a better job than I could ever do. And not being some kind of narcissist or something like that, thinking that, hey, you got this big channel. Well, no, it's not big. Okay. Not when a girl can put 2 eggs in an egg beater, crack them, and get 1.5 million views. Okay. No, we're not big. Okay. But the most important thing is that we help each other work together for a common goal of just being great. I'm more than happy to join you, brother. Yeah, well, definitely. We have so many things lined up, and listen, go over check Whiskey Charlie. Okay. They got a fantastic job. And Herman's in the thing. Mo would love to have you on. I know that. And I mentioned that to him. And like they said, they're going to get Herman on Whiskey Charlie, which you want to hear Herman and all his stuff. All right. That's some riveting television right there. Egg beaters. Yeah, I know. What can I tell you? All right. So, one of the really fascinating things is that we go in. Of course, with a wonderful partnership that we have with GMT, and I have to thank Herman Lutman for putting me and GMT together many months ago. If it wasn't for him, none of this would be possible. And I want to thank him again for putting me in touch with Anthony Curtis and just talking and showing that we can do a really good job. We did a couple of videos earlier in the week, and I just really want to talk about the couple of games that I did get in. And where are we at the 22:52 mark? Okay, I got to make sure, because when I tell Anthony that we were talking about this, listen, all right, there's been a lot of hype about this game, and I'm going to tell you guys right now. All right, Imperial Struggle is everything you think it is and more. All right, and more. Okay. Oh God, these two. I tell you, whenever you get a bunch of war gamers together, it becomes the Whiskey Channel. Yeah, there we go. All right, but getting back to this, another fantastic job, and the thing that really gets me here, and I want to go over to the big screen. Let's go to the big screen. Is Imperial Struggle here? Okay, is a phenomenal game. All right. I had the chance to, I'm playing 2 hands against myself, and I'm going to get my son to help me with this, and we're going to play it live. Turning the hat backwards, folks. I want to take this off, but I do want to make sure that you guys know, I always do. They do give you, and I got to get up and lean over. They give you one of these. Okay. But that's not me, because I've always got to put everything in my little jewel cases that I really enjoy. And, of course, mess all my cards up. But that's me. The components are ridiculous, all right? I mean, absolutely drop-dead gorgeous counters and things like that. You're going to have all these little, like, textiles and things like this. It's an amazing game because it does a number of things, and I'm not going to pull all this out, but I did want to show you some of the stuff in here. The map is beautiful. If you really want to check it out, please go over to the video I did on Monday as I look at Imperial Struggle. One of the things that I want to show you, and oh, you know something, we do have the, well, we can do this. We can do this. Okay. Over here is the entire map. And this thing is broken out into, you're going to have 6 piece years. Okay. Well, not 6 piece segments, where you're going to have piece for 6 different segments, but there's also 4 war segments, which cover over 100 years. All right. Between this great rivalry. So, where this really comes in is there is a massive amount played 2 hands against myself. Yep. What am I going to do? How different will it be from that's a great question. The cards aren't as important as you think they are. Okay. The cards are not as important where the cards play such a bigger part in Twilight Struggle. These cards are almost secondary because all the movements, it's a great successor to it, okay? But there's a couple things that go in here. Remember, with Twilight Struggle, you're trying to stop war, but you're also trying to win war and win all these different economic sections of the world. Because remember, these 2 powerhouses were at it for years, trying to undo each other. Even in peacetime, there was this enormous amount of political intrigue. It's okay, where do we become an economic power? Where do we do this? And then, of course, eventually there are 4 wars that during this time had really, stepped up and did all these type of things. And I'm going to jump in here and break this up. Speaking of Fabrizio, he will be joining us on Whiskey Charlie next Tuesday evening at 7 Central. As much as I want to watch that show, I'm in bed at that time, Mo. I'm because I get up at 4. Somebody got to open up the gym, right? But going back to Kabuki's thing, it's amazing because you got to win one of those sections of you have to win the war section, at least one of those sections, and it's split up into 4 sections. And then let me see if I can do it this way. Hold on, and I'll pull this out. I'll open it up from here we go. Okay, there we go. So I can kind of do this, and I want to show this to you. You're going for each period of time, you're going to have different types of chits that you're going to apply at the War of Independence. That's the wrong one that I want to look at. So out of these 4, like the War of the Australian Succession, you're going to have Central Europe. You're going to have the Carnac War, Jacobite Rebellion. Sorry, I'm butchering everything. King's War, King George's War. You're trying to win. You have to win one of these different sections. You're going to have to win one of these different sections. And you're going to have chits that you're going to apply, and then you're going to have different modifiers. So in between, like peace turn 1 and 2, this war you're going to have to deal with. And it's so intriguing and so interesting. Then you're going to have all these other different peace turns where you're going to economically, alliances, and different types of things to get ahead. And the scoring system is so unique, because the midpoint is 15. And I believe that if you're, don't mess with Texas. Oh, here we go. Okay. Austrian, Rob. Yeah, sorry. Austrian. Whoa. Thank you, Bean Mitch, for subscribing. You know what that means, folks. In the middle of this. See, when I get going, I just start throwing things out. Australia wasn't around during the game period. Sorry about that. Thank you for subscribing. No dollar goes to my beautiful granddaughter's college fund. Thank you, Godzilla, for taking that. We always got to add that in. Thanks for pointing that out. I didn't mean that. I meant Austrian, Germans. Sorry. But anyways, the point I was trying to make here is that, you do this, you gear up for this, but then you also have to have certain alliances. You have to have certain goods that are coming in to give you victory points. And as I was saying with the victory points, anything under 15 15 victory points is a win basically for the British, and everything over 15 is a win for the French. If any time the French get to 30 victory points, it's an automatic win, game over. And if any time that the British are able to get the victory points down to 0, it is a complete and utter win for the British. So a lot of interesting and really unique type of things that really go into this phenomenal game. And if you don't have it on pre-order, and if you are looking to get this, I really highly suggest you do this, because you are not going to go wrong here one bit. This is a home run. I'm telling you right now. Okay. A phenomenal game. Squirrel question. Let me just get in here. Are you doing any No, those days I'm just right now. I am jacking myself up. I do a number of different things, a lot of different type of training, weight training, martial art training, kickboxing training, really just trying to stay alive here in 2020 here. So I'm getting there. All right. The next game that we got is which I did another video on, is for me, this is something that really means a lot to me. And I have the original Men of Iron, but this is a game that Richard Berg never got to see come out. And there's a nice little blurb in here, and I actually want to read that to you guys a little bit, and just to show you the class that GMT has. Okay, and hold on, I'm getting there. Here we go. That's the battle book. You get a lot in here, folks. And if you want to see it, go check out the video that we did. And of course, like a complete fool, I went and buy the book, I think. Did I? No, I did not. I'm going to read this to you, because I found this very, very, very moving. And I just want to commend GMT for doing this. At the bottom here, in the left-hand corner, when you get your copy, you'll see it. A note on the passing of a legend. Most of you will already know that Richard Berg did not live to see this edition of the game published. He was a prolific innovator, an award-winning game designer with over 100 games credited, several system designs and co-designed by him, and are still being used by others to design games. His inspiration will live on through his games. Enjoy these games. Think of Richard, as I believe this is a tribute he would appreciate. That's class all the way, folks. That's class all the way. And congratulations to GMT. I really have to say that. In about 3 minutes, I'm about 3 minutes behind. Okay. Oh, there you go. That's cool. But anyways, he's done over 100 games. So one of the things I wanted to do today in tribute to him is I wanted to talk a little bit about Richard, and why do I always forget not to turn on? Can somebody remind me every time that a regular that pops in? We got about 70 people, 80 people between the three channels. If somebody could remind me from time to time, hey Rob, shut off the autofocus on the Logitech. That'd be cool. Help dummy be smarter. But this is a fantastic game. I did a review on this that came out yesterday. You got War and Pieces 3 days in a row, along with other videos, of course. But when you could take all three of these innovative designs and put them together, I really, really, really suggest that you pick this up. And both these games will be at Miniature Market. You can get them through GMT, but you're going to get a really great price over at our boys at Miniature Market, which sponsors this channel. You got to get a shameless plug in every once in a while. But again, the tri-pack is beautiful. The maps are fantastic. Take a look at the video, judge for yourself. It's not for everybody, because the funny thing about this really unique game is, if you played Men of Iron, Infidels, and Blood and Roses, you know that being the defensive position is pretty much most of the game. All right, it's how you're coming in trying to break that, and you're at a disadvantage being the attacker. Okay, because how this all works, and of course the very unique and very awesome system where the leaders, you have to roll to activate them, and sometimes you just can't do that. Okay, so you're going to be going back and forth trying to get these guys, and then you're going to try to steal initiative by saying, hey, I'm going to activate, I think I can activate this guy. But if you fail to activate that particular leader, well, it's going to go back to the other side, and they don't even have to roll. They're going to get a free action with that particular unit and leader. So there's a ton of strategy that goes on here, and it's really, really unique and absolutely phenomenal. But today on the Mighty War and Pieces, in honor of our dear friend, Mr. Richard Berg, who, unfortunately, I never got the pleasure to meet. Now, some of you must have met. But when I did a little bit more homework and looked up, he was born in 1943. Okay. Actually, the same year as my mom. Okay. He was a defense attorney from 1971 to 1988. If you really think about that, you think about some of the great people in this hobby. I believe Stuka Joe is a prosecutor. So, really great minds. But what I want to do today, okay, and I'm looking over some of the lists that I decided to pull, some of the games that I really enjoy of his. Okay, SPQR, I think, is a fantastic game. Who can forget the original War of the Rings? Okay, another great thing. Triumph and Glory. Terrible Swift Sword, which was an award winner. Not only that, but Mr. Berg was also, one of the things that I always used to confuse, and I'm going to go a little further after I take a sip of water here. None better than Gatorade, especially in Florida. Gatorade, get it? All right, never mind. The campaign for North Africa. He was an award winner, but every time I would say Richard Berg, I would end up saying Richard Borg. I always, the two of them, their names are so close, yet that two guys that are just so different. Richard Borg, who Memoir 44, Battle Cry, has this unique, easy to learn system, and then you have an innovator in Richard Berg who's done so many so different things. You think I'd be able to separate him here, but listen, I can barely say Austria, let alone Australia. All right, there we go. I mean, what do you expect? Easy to, I do it a lot, and it's because Richard Borg lives here in Florida. Every time I'm going on a plane to go to a convention, usually I run into him. The Terrible Swift Sword, which was a unique design. His two Caesar games, Conquest of the Gauls in '98, and then of course Caesar Alexandria in 2001. Blackbeard. I mean, how outside of the box is Blackbeard? Here's a guy that's done a ton of war games, and then we just come up with a pirate game, Blackbeard, which was fantastic. Battle of Waterloo. He also did Waterloo for Philantrics or something like that. I'm sorry. Geronimo for Avalon Hill. Listen to the people that he's worked for. Men of Iron, of course, for GMT. June 6th. Desert Fox for SPI. Remember old SPI? Let's not forget them. Zulu, War Gallery. 3 Days of Gettysburg. Okay. Samurai. Glory. River of Death. Am I missing anything here? I mean, this is just a sample of some of the things I decided to pull out here. So today on War and Pieces, because I love interacting with all of you, we're going to try to put together our list of the 5 greatest Richard Berg games. Not Richard Borg, Richard Berg. Just so I don't make that mistake. So what I'm going to ask of you guys is start throwing out some names, and I'll write them down. I'll try to keep up going solo here. I think Terrible Swift Sword has to be on there. Okay, so I'm going to call it TSS. And what we're going to do is we're going to switch to our other camera. Whoop! And we're going to do it. I'm always making the mistake, Rob Orn and Rob Lowe. Yes, I make that same mistake. Okay, I think for me, I've got to put War of the Ring. Okay. Onward Christian Soldiers. Great Battles of Alexandria. Okay. Oh, Desert Fox. Okay. SPQR. Once we start getting doubles of these, okay, War of the Ring got a vote. Terrible Swift Sword got a vote. Desert Fox. That got a vote. Desert Fox. Successors. I believe I saw that twice. War of the Ring. Got another vote. Monster X for War of the Ring. We got Successors. That was nominated. And I always have fun doing this. A Gleam of Bayonets. Think about this. This guy's had 100 games. Which ones really stand out to you? Did he do this one? Desert Fox or War of the Rings? Well, I'm going to give one for each because the Rust Swordsman knows. Robert Carroll coming in with Pax. Romania. +1 for TS. +1 for TS. Okay, hold on. I got to make sure I'm getting all these. I'd probably vote for War of the Ring if I ever played that one. Oh, it's the original and another. Okay, let me make sure I got enough War of the Rings here. 1. Hey, Turtle. Hey, JK. JK, watch the beginning of the show because you actually get a mention in there. And you're more than welcome to come on. War of the Rings, TSS, TSR, Desert Fox, PAX, Genesis. Oh, yeah, Genesis was good too. Genesis was another good one. Pew Pew Crowd. Hey, Rob. Hathwell, how are you? Red Badge of Courage. That was another one, a good one. Another vote for Successors. That's a good one there. Courage. All right, I think we got enough. Let's make sure that we get enough votes in here. I really think that some of these are the ones that are really gonna stand out. I'm surprised nobody said Blackbeard. I thought Blackbeard was very good. +1 for War of the Ring. There we go. Sari, War of the Ring, a reprint. Okay. I discovered the channel today because of the vid of Men of Iron Tri-Pack. You are amazing. Well, thank you, Mr. Garcia. Look at this. We're even gonna highlight you for a second there, my brother. Thanks for being part of the channel. There you go. Yes, well, there we go. We got Blackbeard in there. I love Blackbeard. Oh, here, I'm going to put this up over here. All right, let's see. GBOH series. Do I have that here? GBOH series. Okay, well, I'll put it down. Blackbeard. Black Bear getting a reprint, a revised edition. Black Bear. Sean tells it, it's quite different and much prettier. Okay, very cool. All right. No Areas of War. Look at Kabok. All right. Okay, let's see this. SPQR, which is a great game. Oh, there you go. Sorry. Gonna add that in. Like I said, we do our best here. All right. So we got a couple here. All right, so we're going to hold that right about there. I think that's good. So here's what we're going to do, folks. First of all, Tony, that is like the coolest avatar that you can have. Yul Brynner was like the coolest dude. When was that guy not cool? He was cool and not being cool. All right, so we're going to take Pax out. We're going to take a Gleam of Barret, that out. We're going to take Genesis out. We're going to take Red Badge of Courage out. Blackbeard, I think we're going to take out. I think it comes down to these 5 here for this group here. So I'm going to let you guys pick what you think. Now for me, I think this Terrible Swift Sword really, really sits out great. Men of Iron too. I'm kind of surprised I didn't see that, but it is an older game, and we do have kind of a younger crowd to a degree. Desert Fox got a couple more votes, I thought. Yeah, you're probably right. I just didn't get them down. All right, so now I'm going to wipe away all these votes, okay? And I'm going to let you guys vote on who you just give me one vote on which game you think is the best game. All right, the number one game. Okay? And then what we'll do is we'll squeeze them in there. You're right, Kabuki. I messed up. I just went back and took a look. All right, so we got one vote for SPQR. Okay, nice shot. There we go. Terrible Swift Sword. Desert Fox for Kabuk. War of the Ring gets a vote. Wow, we've got some really diverse things. Okay, hold on. Because this is moving pretty quick. All right. I'm not young. Well, neither am I. Join the crowd. Okay, so Tony SPQ, Desert Fox, TSS. Of those, Desert Fox arguably the best. Okay, so that's 2 for Desert Fox. Another one for T. Dennis coming strong for Terrible Swift Sword. Then we've got Monster X with War of the Ring, which I got. Desert Fox for the Rough Swordsman. War of the Ring for the Troll. Desert Fox for Alan. Terrible Swift Sword for Herman. Robert goes with Terrible Swift Sword. Torn between Desert Fox and War of the Ring. Got to make one, Tim. Dennis goes with Terrible Swift Sword. This is going where I thought it would go. Hard to go wrong with any of these one titles. I agree. War of the Ring came out the year I was born. Tim's going to go with War of the Ring. Okay. So we've got that so far. Egoist went War of the Ring. Okay. The Drifter. Okay. Yeah. War of the Ring. Boy, we got a lot of Lord of the Rings fans. You missed a bunch of TSS. I did. I think I got them though now. Hold on. There's an SPQ. There's another TS. Rommel losing ground, huh? Rommel lost some ground. Let me just make sure I got all these, counting them up. I think I got it right. New member, Charlie P. Charlie P, while we're waiting for votes here. Charlie, thank you so much. As always, a dollar goes to my granddaughter. Let's hear it. Oh, you got the music too, Charlie. Nice job, Charlie. Thank you for becoming a member of the channel. We love you for that. Beautiful human being, you. I love it when people become members. I wish I could vote, but honestly, I have no idea here. That's all right. I'm going to give it a few more seconds. I think we got it, unless we get a last minute one in here. And it's kind of how I thought this would go. Okay. It's really kind of how I thought it would be, because we've got 3, 6, 7 votes for Terrible Swift Sword. So we're going to put that number 1. Okay. Number 2, surprisingly, is War of the Ring, because I really thought Desert Fox and SPQ would come up here. But, you know, you can never take away the War of the Ring and how innovative that was. Okay. Number 3, good choice. I don't think any of these are wrong at any point here. Desert Fox is strong here at number 3. There we go. And you know something? Honestly, Kabuki could have easily gone the other way if she played the game. So, but now you got to hunt it down and get it and play it. Some people may be mixing it up with Ares War of the Ring too. That could be too. But I don't think you can go wrong with any one of these games. His award, he won an award for Terrible Swift Sword, which I thought was a very, very good game. There's a Fox. As a matter of fact, aren't they coming? Does Decision have the rights to it? And they're coming out with a Ultimate Edition, supposedly, I believe. If I'm not right. I saw on BGG that Berg designed a Godzilla game. Rob did not know about that? I can't know everything, pal. I can't know everything. These games are too old for me. Stop. Well, that means you got to go back, Sean. Okay, you got to go back and play some of these games. All right, because just because the games are old doesn't mean they're not good. Because some of the best games are older games. Okay, just because we've got all the new flashy stuff, and trust me, you can see some of that new flashy stuff. But just because we have some of that flashy stuff does not mean that these are not. You know, you use your imagination. You know, you get immersed in something and a feel for things that, even though it's old and it's not as pretty, the gameplay really stands out in a lot of this older stuff. And I really think you should. Desert Fox Deluxe came out a couple years ago. Yeah, it's supposed to come to miniature market soon, I believe. Berg's Ring came out in 1977. Yep, exactly. Great one, Alan. Great one. All right. Listen, I can't believe an hour went by. Just like that. Listen, we have some amazing, amazing things with some amazing, amazing people. Okay? We are going to take our time. I'm going to finish up the last 4 minutes of the show here by saying this much. Okay? We are looking forward to helping some of these other smaller channels, you know, have their voice heard here on BGG, okay, as well as Rob's Tabletop World. Why not? You know, we're here to make a difference. Okay, we always have been. Okay, we've been here for a very long time. Okay, and we've done a lot of good, and we will continue to do a lot of good. But the most important thing is spreading the word of how beautiful history is, how wonderful history is. And you can learn it here from so many different people, not just me. Okay. But we have a very intelligent audience, a great audience, one that comes in and watches this with enormous passion and corrects me when I'm wrong all the time, because I'm wrong a lot. And let me just tell you this much. We are going forward and we're going to do some amazing things. Again, I want to thank Dan for his time on here. And who knows, Dan might be back someday. That won't be bad. Okay. But we are always reinventing, being innovative, and doing all types of things. Okay. And don't forget, you can find Dan over at No Enemies Here. He does a great job showcasing, everybody that and what they do. A fantastic thing. Here, we're going to concentrate on looking at games and doing all kinds of great things and really getting into the nitty gritty of wargaming, because we play this stuff. We love this stuff. We can't stop doing this stuff. And I want to thank all of you for being here each and every week. All right. We get a big crowd each and every week, and I really, really enjoy it. I really enjoy what we have. Now, next week we have Candace. The week after that, Herman's going to be back on, I believe. And then because he's going to be doing an anatomy of how to make a game. And then the following week, I plan on getting Grant from Worthington Games. We've also got some special interviews that we have a shot that we were approached to have interviews with certain individuals because they really like how we interview, and you're going to be seeing some really unique stuff coming up really soon. I want to thank those companies for coming forward and asking us to do some of the things that we're going to be doing here at War and Pieces. We try to be the very, very best and try to be part of just this wonderful, wonderful community, which is made up of all of you. I love you all. Okay. Be good to one another, be kind to one another. Okay. Because not only is it going to make you feel good, it's going to make somebody else feel good. And as always, just know how much this channel will not be here without you. And I appreciate each and every one of you. And we will see you next week on another War and Pieces. Go easy, everyone. Have a wonderful evening.